Greetings and welcome. I am Justavor, bringing you what I hope is constructive information on what the system of racism is and how it works, as well as what can be done to replace it with the system of justice. Suspect says whiteness prevents accountability. This suspect says that whiteness prevents white people from being accountable for the system of white supremacy. What exactly is whiteness? How is this whiteness preventing white people, white females in particular, from being accountable for their role in maintaining the system of white supremacy? Let's have a look and a listen. Please be aware that this video contains profanity.
Our inability to hold our people accountable is because of the system of whiteness. And in that system, perfectionism, individualism, comfortability, lack of confrontation, individualistic living, that's all the tenets of that system.
She is making references to the 15 tenets of white supremacy, originally written in a paper entitled White Supremacy Culture in 1999 by Tema Okun. I have included a link below to a website listing White Supremacy Culture by Tema Okun.
Our inability to hold our people accountable is because of the system of whiteness. And in that system, perfectionism, individualism, comfortability, lack of confrontation, individualistic living, that's all the tenets of that system.
What is whiteness? I prefer to be as accurate as possible. Rather than a vague term like whiteness, wouldn't it be more accurate and less confusing to just say the system of white supremacy? We are talking about a system, aren't we?
We were raised to be comfortable. As a Southern white woman, my mother taught me, don't be loud, don't embarrass yourself, don't say something that will make someone uncomfortable, that's rude.
Did these white woman etiquette teachings include not being rude to non-white people, not making non-white people feel uncomfortable? Were these alleged teachings only reserved for her household, or were other white people aware? Because I have seen far too many examples of not only Southern white females, but white females worldwide mistreating non-white people in many ways. Many of these ways resulted and still result in non-white people being accused and punished for crimes they did not commit, punished to the point of imprisonment or death.
And so as I'm unpacking all of this and doing this work, it is, it's uncomfortable and I am scared. I'm afraid of making a mistake or saying something wrong. But I remember whenever I feel like that is perfectionism and it's a fucking lie.
Really? Are we supposed to sit here listening to this suspected racist, white supremacist, talking about being scared and uncomfortable for having conversations about white supremacy, while non-white people continue to be targeted and mistreated by suspects just like this one right here? I suspect this white woman is practicing racism.
One thing that I can say about Black women and what I've observed on this app is the level of community and accountability that is rooted in compassion and truth, but in honesty, but done in love. We do not have that in our community. It is met whenever feedback or accountability is given, it is taken personally. And that's when your anger comes out. That's when well, I'm not that person. I'm different. It's not just you. You are within this community. We are all white women.
She says Black females on the app set an example in community and accountability that is rooted in compassion, truth, and honesty that is done in love. I support Black people having Black self-respect and non-white people treating each other with patience and compassion. But is that what this white lady is really seeing? What about Black males? Did you catch that? Did you catch that promotion of a false sense of sisterhood between white and Black females? Did you also catch when she said,
you are within this community. We are all white women.
But I thought she just alluded to white people not having a community.
And as I'm working through my people pleasing, I have to understand that accountability and feedback and calling in and calling out is community. And we have, as white women, I can speak from the evangelical white woman perspective, we build community that is not real. It's based on a facade. It's based on performance, toxic positivity. Everything's fine. And so there's not space for us to come together in an authentic and genuine way and say, this is where I'm struggling, and it be met with compassion.
There it is again. She just said that white people build communities that are not real. She just said,
you are within this community. We are all white women.
I'm very confused. What does it mean to be white? What is the purpose of people creating a royalist caste system based on racial classifications and then putting themselves on one team and everyone else on the other team? According to the code, racism is both individual and institutional. Racism is institutionalized in everything that is said and done or not said and done by every white person who participates in and or who does not effectively oppose the practice of racism, white supremacy.
As white women, I can speak from the evangelical white woman perspective. We build community that is not real. It's based on a facade. It's based on performance, toxic positivity. Everything's fine. And so there's not space for us to come together in an authentic and genuine way and say, this is where I'm struggling, and it be met with compassion.
Seriously, are you telling me that white females do not have spaces to openly express their struggles and how they feel and be met with compassion? If there is one thing that I know white women can create, is a support group that makes white women feel really comfortable. What is this nonsense that she is spewing?
I see it all the time in these comments of liberal white women talking about conservative white women like they're the problem. But your silence and distance from those conservative white women is part of the problem.
Are people in a community not allowed to have differences of opinion? Are they not allowed to debate within a community? Is the only way for a community to exist is for every single person to agree with one another?
So, black women are tired. Don't bring this shit to their doorstep or in their comment section. This is a conversation between white women and the shit we gotta clean up, okay? For us to hold each other accountable, not only do we unpack, decolonize ourselves, but we build real community based on authenticity, truth, compassion, and healing. I'm beginning to see what that looks like, and it is beautiful. It is precious. And as long as we don't have these conversations with other white women, our silence is violence, and it's perpetuating harm and literally killing people of color.
It must be an awesome thing to see that one moment you don't have an authentic community, but then almost immediately you're able to see one coming into fruition. The problem of white women not having a community that coddles them enough is almost solved. I think that entire idea is deception. I do not agree that conversations about racism should only be conducted between those who classify themselves as white. What non-white people need is for white people to inform us of who the races are and what white people talk about when no non-white people are around. I suspect this white female, who is obviously not ignorant about racism, is not serious about ending the system of white supremacy. She never actually claimed she was. I do, however, think that she is very serious about refining her practices of racism, white supremacy. The code book suggests that the correct way to end white supremacy, racism, is that non-white people put to use the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept, and that white people do everything that is necessary to practice the quality relationship requirements in regard to non-white people at all times, in all places, in all areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Quality relationships, according to the code, are described as a total absence of pretense, dishonesty, deception, falsehood, etc., in regards to everything that people say and do in all of their interactions with each other in every area of activity, and that all of these activities produce a constructive result. Is that what we are getting from this suspected racist? Is what she doing in this video meeting the quality relationship requirements as defined by the code? What does it mean to be white in a system of white supremacy? What do white people talk about when no non-white people are around? What are your thoughts on what this suspected racist is doing in this video? Feel free to leave your questions, comments, and concerns. For more information about the purpose and goals of this channel, as well as some basic definitions of words and terms we use in reference to our work, I have included a link below to a video containing this information. If you would like an even better understanding of the code and how it works, please visit producejustice.com to order the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept by Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. There are many constructive suggestions for ending the system of white supremacy, and Mr. Fuller's code book and its word guide act as guides to getting and keeping on code. If you feel this content is constructive and worth your time and energy, please subscribe and share to support the making of more content in the future. Much appreciation to all the Vors already subscribed. I am Justavor, and I am still learning. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
Let me say something that gets to the very crux of the matter, and this may be offensive for some to hear who are not on the side that we're on. White people, we have been the problem for 400 years.
Say that again.
Let me say it one more time for those of you who didn't hear me. White people, we have been the problem